Hey everybody, sorry to bother you. Welcome back to the Magic Marcus Mystery Dream Tour Extravaganza thing. Just trying to spin my gun. Come on, man, spin it. Give me a little spinny room. There you go. All right. We're down here at Odes, which is directly below Window Rock. Not directly below it, but that's Window Rock up there from our last video. We find our rock made of cowboys. Can you get up there? I want to stand on that stump. Alright, our map. How did we get here? Everybody remember how we got here? Taking notes? Just backtrack a couple steps here. So we got Fort Wallace. Right? After our clues all connected, we had to take a leap. Fort Wallace. That's where we found our birds, and they were separated by the tiles. Right? Each one was on a separate tile, and there's a space between them. Guitar symbol that we found on the pole took us to Fort Wallace. Signs point lead to other signs. Something I don't know if I've mentioned, but everything's been a landmark so far. So when we got here from a guitar, somebody clued in that this looks like a guitar, and it does. It's landmarks, abstract. This is a guitar. So the guitar, the two birds that have a space between them, pointed us to two birds on Window Rock that have a space between them. Window Rock, right behind those two birds sitting on the rock, you find a cowboy made of rocks. And that represents us, the character, or Arthur, John. So if the space between tiles is empty over here, we have a cowboy pointing us to the space between the birds over here. We are the cowboy, so we go between the two eagles at the top there because they are representing the cowboy that's pointing us there, who represents the space between the two birds over here. So now we are the space between the two birds up here. Those two birds look in opposite directions. So we know we need to go between something up the middle. If you have two arrows, which we now know those signs are arrows, we have two arrows in opposite directions to go to the middle. We also know that after a leap, like we took from this pole to here, we need to connect some things to move on. Again, that's how all the clues work. Connect, 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 leap, connect, 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 leap. Right? And then you connect the leap. Right now, we know we have to connect the guitar to our next clue, or our clues will not make sense. So this guitar points us to the two birds that are the river. So now we have a landmark pointing us to the rocks, which is a landmark. Connects us to the river, which is a landmark. And eventually that's going to take us down to this gooseneck, which is also a landmark. Two birds, goose, turkey. Right? So that is how we got here, guys. And when we got here, I went through the window. Everybody got stuck at the mirror. I went through the window like a rock through a window, which is what the name is implying. It's also made of rocks, sure. Multiple meanings. We know wordplay from Butcher's Creek is in play. There is wordplay. So that was another example. Sure, it's a window made of rocks, but you need to go through it like a rock through a window as well. And that's what happens if you go above it. You find your rock or your cowboy made of rocks. Now, if you don't go above it, you can go below it. And you can get here to Dodds. Not sure how to say it. I just noticed this right before I started recording. This ladder here is going to point you in the general direction again. But we want to get here, and we will get here. My window rock calculations from the top of it. But I'm noticing here, if you went below, Dodds also points you in this general direction. What I've found, too, is when I do go back, I find multiple signs. And some of the signs might not point in the exact same place. I'm willing to bet if I got here, I'd find a clue that points me right here. So it'll take you down here. Then you're going to hit something that's going to give you a sign and turn you in a direction and still get you to the right place. Again, multiple paths. And the ladder, I get it. It's just a ladder. But you also have this wheelbarrow pointing in that direction as well. And it's full of sacks, right? It's like weighted down at the front. So it's pushing that way. I don't know if you guys know how wheelbarrows work. I feel like you have to use a wheelbarrow a couple times to understand what I mean here, but all the weight is in the front of it. Wheelbarrow's naturally going to go that way. Flip up and go that way too if you give it a little push. Bed does glitch. I noticed that because I am on my glitch trail. Yeah, we're looking under the bed. Why am I looking under the bed? Well, I've been kind of saying this for a while, guys. When things move in, they're pointing. Okay, so these guys, and you'll see this all over the game. There's no reason for these things to be placed like this, but you'll see tons of stuff all over the game where it leans in this way and it leans in this way, and they come together and they point and they kind of make an arrow. This pattern, this arrow type pattern, is more common than anything else. Like show me where you see a broom crossed over a shovel, like where, or they're lying parallel to each other, or like it's always like this. If there's two objects, they're almost on the ground somewhere, they're laid in this kind of formation. So what I'm saying is that this points as well. This whole building points, and this whole building points to where we need to be. Underneath, everything's pointing. God damn it. Edit that. Let me get it right again. So it's pointing you kind of in between the windows out here, right here. So now let's see where we are. Okay, so it's still pointing us in that general direction. Point being, guys, it's not pointing you up here. It's not pointing you over here. It's not pointing you over here. I've now found, I don't know, like 6 or 7 different signs. Point me southwest, sorry. And then, like I say, we're going to go here and we're going to find our next clue. And I confirm that by finding the next clue and the next clue. And that's how it works. Everything you're doing, you can't confirm it until you get ahead. We had a guitar on a pole. What does that mean? Brought us up to Fort Wallace. Let's back that up. So we got a guitar on a pole, right? Northwest guitar. So we went northwest and we found a guitar, but we didn't really know what that means, or even if we can't confirm that's anything, right? It's just a place with a guitar. Once we find our next path or next step, we now know that the guitar worked and this was the right direction because we found our birds. And our birds connected us to 2 more birds, 2 literal birds at the top of the rock, 2 metaphorical birds on the river, 2 even more metaphorical birds you'll see in a second, which is a wild turkey and a goose down here. That's where we're heading with this whole video. But I know this is where people are going to have a lot of trouble. We are the space between the 2 birds. Go to Window Rock. There's a cowboy made of rocks between the 2 birds. That cowboy points us to go stand between the 2 birds. We are now the space between the 2 eagles at the top of the rocks, top of Window Rock. So now we need to mirror that. It's the significance of the mirrors. Well, I gave him a bunch of examples, but here's a great one right here. We're going to mirror what we're doing. I'm standing up here. I'm John, and I'm standing between 2 literal eagles. Well, I'm going to go down here, and I'm John, and I'm going to stand between 2 metaphorical eagles that are the river. I get it's not an exact mirror image, but that's what mirroring kind of means, right? If you understand the verb that is a mirror somebody, kind of what we're doing there. It's also a bit of a Drost effect, I think. I don't know if I'm using that terminology right. Something I just learned from Epsilon. Window Rock up there pointed me downriver. This house below also points me downriver. And now that I've doubled up on my clues, I'm sure other people can find even more examples of everything I just said and other reasons that point you downriver. For example, this is a big one right here. There's 2 canoes. They're just sitting here. So we got a guitar that pointed us downriver. We got some birds that pointed us downriver. And now we got 2 canoes just sitting here pointing us down. Oh, look at them. I've never seen that walk before. Where are you going away? And you got these canoes, man. We don't even use these canoes, right? Use it like once in the game. Like my horse is telling me to go downriver. See him pushing me? Look at his head. See? The horses talk to you. Yeah, that's right. They do. And you guys are so lucky that you know that this early in the state game, because I did not know that. I didn't know that till like 50, 60 levels from now. Philosophical bullshit they put in here. This is a fun canoe ride too, guys. You only get to do it once. You want to see something cool too? I got to show you guys this while I'm in the canoe. Go take your camera and sit in the canoe.